Welcome. So, we will continue the discussion from previous class with stator voltage control. So, we are discussing fan and pump type load. TL is proportional to omega m square. So, we have already obtained the ratio of the maximum current to rated current given as 2 divided by 3 into root 3 1 minus S rated into root over of S rated. This expression is derived previously. So, we will start from here. So, if S rated equals to 0.2, then from the above expression the maximum current I max equal to 1.07 times the rated current. If the rated slip is 0.1, then the maximum current I max is 1.35 times the rated current. So, these two values indicate that the maximum current has a lower value for a motor with larger full load slip, as you can see. As you can see, slip is larger, say 0.2, and maximum current is less. So, maximum current is less if the slip is large. as you can see, with larger full load slip, the maximum current is less. So, if a motor with power rating equal to full load power requirement of the load is selected, motor power rating equal to full load power of the load, full load power requirement of the load. Then when the speed is less than the rated speed, obviously power is same full load power. So, torque is high means current is high. So, for less speeds, smaller speeds, motor will be overloaded, particularly for fan and pump type load. This is more predominant, because as the speed increases, as the speed decreases, the load torque decreases as speed squared. So, drastic change in torque, drastic reduction in torque. So, for less speeds, so large increase in current, so motor will be overloaded. Then another important point, if slip S equals to 1/3 or more, then what happens? So, if slip is 1/3 or more, the motor current rating to be selected is I max, because you have seen at slip equal to 1/3, current is the maximum current I max. So, as the ratio I 1 by I max, which you can obtain from the previous derivations, this I 1 by I max is 3 into root 3 by 2 1 minus s into root over of s. When slip is very small, then current is also small. As you see in this expression, when the slip is very small compared to 1/3, current is also very small compared to the maximum current I max. So, with this, when the slip is very small, current is less than maximum current. So, motor current at rated speed, when the small is slip is very small, is less than the rated current. So, torque, because because motor current is less than the rated current, torque is also less than the rated torque, and so also the power. Torque and power delivered by the motor will be less than the motor torque and power rating. So, this causes derating of the motor. What is that derating? This derating factor is approximately the ratio of the rated to the maximum current. So, derating factor is nearly equal to I rated by I max, and from the previous derivation it is 3 into root 3 by 2 1 minus S rated into root over of S rated. So, derating factors for S rated equal to 0.1 and 0.2 are 0.74 and 0.93 respectively. You can compute it from the previous formula, you can get this value. So, from this discussion we conclude smaller full load slip means more derating for this type of load. For fan and pump type load, smaller full load slip, rated speed slip, smaller full load slip implies more derating for this type of load, fan pump type load. Then one more factor we will compare is efficiency. If stator copper loss, stator and core loss and friction and windage loss are neglected, then efficiency that is output power by input power, output power is P m, input power is P g in this case, and it is 1 minus S. So, for S rated equals to 0.1 and 0.2, efficiency equals to 0.9 and 0.8 respectively. So, what is the conclusion? Smaller full load slip means higher efficiency, as you see here. smaller full load slip means higher efficiency. So, with this what do we find? With small full load slip, the efficiency is larger more, but derating with fan and pump type load is also more. So, if we require better efficiency, whereas lower derating, smaller derating. So, considering this, a compromise has to be made in the selecting the full load slip for the motor, and the selected full load slip is between 0.1 and 0.2. So, next we will discuss equivalent circuit analysis. Neglecting the no load current, approximate equivalent circuit. Like this. Stator resistance R1, reactance J X1 plus X2 dash and R2 dash by S. This is the voltage V1 at 0, this is the current I1. So, we have omitted the no load branch, magnetizing and loss branch. So, no load current is neglected. So, from this equivalent circuit, motor impedance Zm is given by R1 plus R2 dash by S plus J X1 plus X2 dash S. So, that is magnitude of the impedance and phase angle is phi r, where phi r is the impedance angle, that is tan inverse of x1 plus x2 divided by r1 plus r2 dash by s. So, if stator applied voltage is the reference phasor given by V1 0, then stator current phasor I1 is V1 by magnitude of the impedance at an angle minus phi r. So, motor power factor equal to cosine of phi r, and efficiency is eta is output power by input power. Okay. So, what is the input power? That is the mechanical power P m plus 3 I 1 square R 1 plus R 2 dash. This is the input power, and input power can be expressed as 3 V 1 I 1 into cos theta 1. Cos theta 1, let us write. I have written phi r. Cos theta 1. So, this is P m is the mechanical power output, and mechanical power output minus iron loss and minus friction and windage losses is the output power. So, overall power factor is P m mechanical power divided by root 3 V L I L, where this V L and I L are the line voltage and current at voltage controller input. Then we will obtain the current expression for the drive voltage controller. So, we will use a simple case of single phase AC voltage regulator. So, this is just typical example. Single phase voltage regulator is a controller is a simple case, and we can apply our the theory, and this can be extended to 3 phase case. This is the thyristor T 1, whose firing angle is alpha 1, which is fired at omega t equal to alpha. This is the thyristor T 2, which is fired at angle pi plus alpha. So, we will apply the analysis. After T 1 is turned on, the equation applicable to the circuit is L d I by dt. This is the current I, L d I by dt plus R I equal to root 2 V sin omega t. We assume voltage starts from 0 at time t equal to 0, root 2 V sin omega t. So, the solution of this differential equation is given by I. It has two component, steady state component ISS and the transient component IT, and steady state component is root 2 V by Z sin of omega t minus theta, and transient component has some initial value I0 and it decays exponentially with time constant L by R, circuit time constant. So, here Z is root over of R square plus omega square L square, and theta is tan inverse of omega L by R. So, at omega t equals to alpha, current will start from 0. So, I is 0. So, using that you have I 0 initial current of the transient component minus root 2 V by Z sin of alpha minus theta. So, this gives total current expression I is root 2 V by Z sin of omega t minus theta minus sin of alpha minus theta into e to the power minus r t by L. For alpha omega t varying from alpha to beta, where I equals to 0 or pi plus alpha otherwise. Current starts from omega t equal to alpha and it continues up to angle beta when current comes to 0. If current does not come to 0, it will continue up to pi plus alpha. This expression is also applicable to alpha to pi plus alpha. So, let us see the different cases. Case 1, if alpha is less than theta. If alpha is less than theta, I 0 is positive. As I 0 is positive, at omega t equals to pi plus alpha, total current I is greater than 0. That you can see from this waveform. This is V, this is the steady state current ISS, and this is the angle theta, and alpha is less than theta. So, this is alpha, this is alpha, where T1 is turned on. At this point, the steady state current is given by the ISS expression. Because total current has to start from 0, the transient component will be given by just opposite to sign of initial value of the steady state current, and this will like this. This is the transient component. Okay. So, because at omega t equal to alpha, this is the I 0 which is positive. I 0 is positive, as you can see, I 0 is positive, mathematical and graphically you have verified, and at pi plus alpha, that is here pi plus alpha, total current is given by steady state current plus transient component, both are positive. So, resultant current is positive. So, total current I is greater than 0. As total current I1 is 0 greater than 0, T1 is conducting, because T1 was on, T1 is carrying positive current. So, forward voltage drop of T1 keeps T2 reverse biased. Obviously, you can see, because T1 is conducting, it has a forward voltage drop, which is the reverse voltage across the T2. So, it keeps T2 reverse biased. So, if T2 is given get pulse at omega t equals to pi plus alpha, because it is reverse biased, it will not conduct. So, circuit will malfunction. So, alpha less than theta is not allowed, or it cannot give voltage control. Okay. Then let us go to the second case. If alpha equals to theta, as you can see, if alpha equals to theta, I 0 is 0. Initial value of the transient component is I 0 equal to 0, and I 0 equal to 0, then I equals to only the steady state current, that is root 2 V by Z sin omega t minus theta. So, output voltage and current are sinusoidal. So, no voltage control is possible. Then we will see the case 3. If alpha is greater than theta, I 0 is negative. Let us see the waveform. This is V, this is the steady state current ISS, this is the theta, and this is the alpha. So, here this is I 0, which is negative, and initial value of I 0 is negative. So, transient component is like this, transient component. Okay. So, as you can see, at pi plus alpha, before pi plus alpha, current will come to 0, somewhere here current will come to 0 at near about omega t equal to pi, or before that current will come to 0. So, current I through T1 comes to 0 at omega t equal to beta, beta is less than pi. After omega t equals to beta, T2 gets forward biased, obviously because supply voltage is negative, so T2 gets forward biased and starts conduction when given gate pulse at omega t equals to pi plus alpha. So, during the intervals that is omega t equals to beta 2 pi plus alpha and pi plus beta to 2 pi plus alpha, current is 0. So, output voltage is also 0. As you can see here, current starts conduction here, here it starts conduction and here current comes to 0 and again it starts conduction here and again. So, output voltage is given by the voltage graph like this. So, when T1 is conducting, a voltage V is applied across the output which is shown hashed, and also when T2 is conducting, voltage applied is so this is the output voltage. So, what do you see? A part of the input voltage is chopped giving voltage control. When alpha is greater than theta. So, this is the principle of voltage controller. When alpha is greater than theta, the RMS output voltage varies. So, output voltage is controlled by varying the alpha. So, how it is done? A part of the input voltage is chopped and does not appear across the output. So, RMS output voltage varies. So, principle is alpha impedance, the firing delay angle alpha should be greater than the load impedance angle theta to give voltage control in AC regulator. So, this is the analysis for single phase AC voltage controller. It is also equally applicable to 3 phase AC regulator with induction motor load. So, same analysis can be extended. So, here you can see the current expression. resultant current waveform, it will start from 0 and here. This is the resultant current. Okay, thank you for attention.